Allahumma barik wa salli wa sallim nahmadu nusalli ala rasulil karim amma ba'. Zaid bin Arqam radhiyallahu anhu narrates that Nabi SAW said that one who recites La ilaha illallah with sincerity will enter Jannah. Somebody asked what was the sign of sincerity. He explained that it prevents one from indulging in the forbidden things. Zaid bin Arqam radhiyallahu anhu narrates that Nabi SAW said that one who recites La ilaha illallah with sincerity will enter Jannah. Somebody asked what was the sign of sincerity. He explained that it prevents one from indulging in the forbidden things. It is clear that one who abstains from the forbidden things and professes faith in La ilaha illallah will directly be admitted into Jannah. But if one has done some forbidden things and has been sent to Jahannam, even then through the blessings of this statement, Allah oneness, he will certainly someday, after undergoing punishment for his misdeeds, be transferred to Jannah. But if his misdeeds have led him to go out of the fold of Islam and Iman, he will remain condemned in Jahannam forever. The scholar of Islamic law, Abu Lais of Samarkand, Rahmatullahi, has written in his book Tanbihul Ghafilin, it is necessary for everyone to recite La ilaha illallah and also make dua to Allah SWT for steadfastness in Iman and abstain from sins, because there are many people whose sinful deeds destroy their Iman and they'll die as non-believers. There can be no tragedy greater than a man should be listed as a Muslim throughout his life, but on the day of Qiyamah, his name should appear in the list of non-believers. This is indeed the greatest most misfortune. One does. May Allah, for instance, a person gets unlawful possession of something knowingly, but he consoles his conscience that he will restore it someday to his real honor, or will get it condoned by him, but he happens to die before he is able to do anything of that sort. There are some who divorce their wives, but even then knowingly they continue to live as husband and wife till death overtake them. In such cases, one does not get a chance of repenting and therefore is completely deprived of Iman. May Allah save us from this. In the books of Hadith, the story of a young man is related who was unable to recite La ilaha illallah when his end was near. He was brought to the notice of Nabi SAW, who went to the young man and asked him what was the matter with him. He replied that he felt as if his mind was locked. On inquiry, it was disclosed that his mother was angry with him because of his misbehavior. She was called by Nabi SAW, and when she came, he said to her, if somebody kindles a big fire and wants to throw your son into it, will you recommend mercy for him? I will certainly do so. She replied, it is so, then forgive his sin, said Nabi SAW. At this, she pardoned her son. And thereafter, when the young man was asked to recite La ilaha illallah, he readily did so. Nabi SAW thanked Allah Ta'ala that through his effort, the man was saved from the fire of Jahannam. There are hundreds of cases like the one described above, where the evil effect of sins in which we get involved results in our worldly as well as spiritual loss. The worthy author of Ihya Ulum has related that once Nabi SAW delivered a talk in which he said, one who recites La ilaha illallah in the manner that does not mix it up, he becomes entitled to Jannah. Ali radhiyallahu anhu asked for the clarification of the meaning of mixing it up. Nabi SAW said, it is to love the worldly life and go after it. There are many who talk like the Anbiya, but act like proud people and tyrants. If one recites those words without indulging, while not indulging in anything of this sort, one becomes entitled to Jannah. May Allah give us taufiq to put all this into practice and convey to others. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma bihamdika, asyhadu an la anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wa salamun al mursalin, alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Taqabbalallah.